Week number 3 of ASL ends here on this Thursday afternoon with some more Fortnite action. I'm your host, AR, for today, and we've got an action-packed lobby for all of you guys. For those of you who are unaware, we go ahead and broadcast these games 2 times a week, Wednesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. here on the African Esports channel. Now, yesterday was its own Fortnite day. Today's going to be a completely different lobby of Fortnite. 2 games, in fact. And we're going to showcase the talents that the school leagues actually have for all of you to witness here. This is the mega stars in the making. We talk about this every single week because we do lobbies 3 times a week, broadcasting 2 of those. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, with Wednesdays and Thursdays being shown here on Twitch. So we're going to hop into that game very, very shortly. But we have a completely different lobby, different schools here, and different teams hopping in for our Thursday afternoon. If Wednesdays were anything to write home about, then you know that Thursdays are going to be fantastic games as well. Let's cut back to what we saw yesterday, where we witnessed heal-offs that lasted around 5 minutes almost for the final victory royale. Even solo clutches happening in game number 1. With that, it sets the bar, it sets the standard for these players here on our Thursday afternoon here, a Fortnite battle royale. And we're not wasting any time. We're hopping straight into that battle bus over this beautiful chapter 7 island with 73 players in this battle bus, one of the highest lobbies that we've seen here in ASL. And all of these players now picking their prime positions, choosing their spots, their dedicated hot drops and POIs, and hopping off to get that victory royale. Something that we've seen over the past couple of weeks, ladies and gentlemen, is that the northern side of this map is heavily occupied by at least half the lobby. But this time, we seem to have the opposite here on this Thursday afternoon. Many teams heading down south to go ahead and get their loot, get their materials, and pop off with that KP. Because remember, it is going to be placement points and eliminations that count towards that leaderboard as we get another look at this map. A good amount of teams heading down towards Battlewood Boulevard. There is some action immediately as Mr. Unknown is going to be the first that is knocked down. Xantic going to go ahead and confirm that. And we're down to 70 players out of our 73 immediately. 1 team wiped as well. I think there may have been a solo that got wiped out over there. But nonetheless, this is going to be an action-packed game. And you see that straight off the bat is DJ Momo. No remorse. Cleaning up that elimination instantly on a Rick, and now looking to go ahead and get some more. Down to 69 players almost instantly as the game starts. Nice. Boy Dynamite getting a knock in that kill feed as well. But this is what we always tend to see, the action off the bat. And then things slow down. That mid-game approaches, and we are somehow, some way, left with like 15 teams in the final 2 zones. And pure chaos and outrage ensues in the final zones, the final storms, with everyone trying to secure a victory royale. As Pod gets hit heavily over here, but Deadeye assault rifle in hand, rechells it, does not hit any of those shots. Now forced to back up. Sunny Bear popping the wingsuit, very risky, but high risk, high reward is the name of the game. No rewards will be here as the team gets wiped out, with Sunny Bear being the last one wiped out mid-air. We call that a trap shot, as the wingsuit is the detriment for the team there. But we've seen that wingsuit be so beneficial as well, a must-have item. Before zone number 1 even closes, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to 58 players. And this is why we love full lobbies like this, because the action just keeps on going as DJ Momo gets taken out by Kiwi. Is in that kill feed as well. Gets a knock on Bizarre Medusa. Still a decent spread on this map of teams, of these players. Enough for us to go ahead and have rotations, but also enough for us to see non-stop action as well as we move over to the Boulevard. Battlewood Boulevard. Probably one of my favorite POIs that they've added, other than Wonky Land, of course. A good amount of teams over here as well. Go ahead and give us that action. Desktop is just going to drop down, farm some more wood over here, farm some materials. We know how important those materials are. And now pushing over to to the Hollywood scenes of these houses, these sets. IEXE on the other side. In his own little house over here, you can see the brick wall as well. I'm sure Flashy noticed that, but gonna focus attention to the footsteps over on the left. Doorknobbies is gonna go ahead and get that elimination, that confirm as well. Peeks the corner, finds Ty. As Desktop is gonna get that elimination. And now they look for the last one. 2 kills to their name already, looking for the third to get that full team wipe. They're not gonna spot them anywhere soon. There is another team over on the northern side of Battlewood Boulevard as well. So we'll see how that action plays out. Meanwhile, on the far eastern side of the map as well, 2 teams looking to engage. But we're going to move to the north, where we will see an engagement over here. And in fact, we'll see a height advantage on one of the teams, Xantic, Immortal Cycler. They're on that height right now. Ruben is joined back over here in our Thursday lobbies. Aqua just trying to build up, trying to get some height, but the Chell from Height of Xantic and company is going to be pushing them down. Cycler, Immortal gets taken down over there, and this could be the opportunity for them to push in to get some kills. You can see Xantic now building up. Panicked Bulls over here. Have to remain cool, calm, and collected. Ruben looking to go ahead, get that res off. Xantic looking to maybe distract with all of these builds and all of these steps. The res is stuck. It will go off, and it does get completed as well. Immortal back in the fray over here. Shots going left, right, and center. Many more kills in that kill feed. Takes us down to 21 teams, 51 players. Xantic gets indoors just in time. You can see the shading of materials now. This is something that these players do so well at such a young age, as well as the communication that they have and the chemistry that they have. You can see now, holding walls is the name of the game. Suave trying to break in with the rest of squad. They managed to do so. Hit heavily though. 1 knock for Suede. Second and third comes through very quickly with Aqua on the on the height, I should say. And now the mist gets popped to go ahead and get those heals back up. The zero gravity effect as well. And they get themselves a clean team wipe, pushing us down to 20 teams left. But we move over to King Cap, who's playing a game of hide and seek right now. Doesn't get spotted at first, but turns around eventually and gets spotted. Now the panic bulls coming through. Jack Sparrow skin on, but there's no running away from this one. There might be a slight chance as the walls go up, the ramps as well, the edits come through, but with 22 HP, and the fact that you're trapped under all of these ceilings on the shoreline of this river as well, it's going to be a tough situation. You do have the heals to go ahead and make a play, but these players, they smell the blood in the water. They want to find you out. They're hunting you, but no, it looks like they're backing off, actually. King Cap might live to see another day over here. Gabe has that mythic Deadeye assault rifle, probably the most sought after weapon this chapter, this season. Best gun in the game is an understatement when it comes to that gun. And you can see it in everyone's inventories right now. They have to have that shotgun. They have to have that Deadeye. And of course, those wingsuits that we see popped over here on doorknobbies for that rotation. You have to have mobility in this game. Caleb gonna get spotted out here by doorknobbies and rest of company. You can see now the cautious plays coming through as they farm up here to get in, ball through, clear out the house underneath them first before taking any engagements. And this is something that a good Fortnite player does. You don't just land on a building and focus somewhere else. You clear out that building, because any misplay, any misstep will lead to you getting eliminated, and you do not want to get eliminated when those placement points count towards that leaderboard as well. Flashy gets hit hard. Desktop is as well, and you see the mist gets popped off there for that team heal as they are forced back inside this house now. And that's why you clear the houses. You know that you have the safety now to go ahead and fall back, have this bit of reset, and then peek around these corners, peek around these doors. Try to make plays around that. There's 1 knock over from Flashy, looking to go ahead, get the second. Jumps down, takes a little bit of fall damage, but Doorknob is right there to go ahead, get the second. And now just trying to go ahead, break through the walls. Gets a confirm, looking for the last one right now. Fancy footwork though under all of these edits. Desktop is doing the best he can, finds the shot finally. and gets the team wipe. Now goes through and gets the revives as well. 37 players. All that is left in our first out of 2 games here on our Thursday afternoon. The end of week number 3 for ASL Fortnite. And so many weeks still to come as well. So much action yet to come. So make sure you are hitting that follow button. You are hitting that notification bell. So you know when we go live, showcasing all of these schools and all of these talents. As Kiwi and company, with that tactical assault rifle, trying to beam in the distance, but it's no Deadeye. It's not going to be easy to go ahead and get those shots connecting on that wingsuit. So they stop firing as that player gets behind the hill, gets behind cover, and now they just chill. They just wait on this height, on this build, waiting for anyone to push them, waiting for the opponents to show their locations, to show their positioning, so that they can prioritize the height advantage, prioritize that 3-2-1 fire that we see time and time again, and they can secure some KP. But the team that they're looking to hunt, they're in the tunnels right now. They're finding people hiding in these tunnels, and they're getting their own KP up to 7 now is Doorknobbies and company. You can see that gold sovereign shotgun and the MK7 in the purple as well in the inventory. When you have a loadout like that, you have to do something with it. You can't just sit around and wait. You gotta go and hunt your opponents. Suede getting 2 knocks in that kill feed as we move over here to Riddler, the last alive for their team. 13 HP, 33 shields. Trying to live as long as they possibly can, but getting hunted down by everyone and every bullet. Gabe, Shrapnel, and Plug gonna secure that elimination up to 4 KP now. Mist gets popped out, and you can see on that free cam how much cover that Mist actually gives you, how much LOS, line of sight, it actually blocks off, and how much it can actually save you. Shrapnel, MK7 gets a little beam over there, but not enough. Gabe getting caught on the tree, unfortunately. Couldn't build the cone there because the tree was in the way, and that's going to get them down de jour. And rest of company now trying to push up. Make a play with it. Plug and Shrapnel, though, they're grouped up. They're playing in the same box. It's going to make things extremely difficult for the opposing team, especially with those akimbo shotguns and that flex SMG in hand of Plug that we see. Shrapnel, of course, with that purple shotgun. That's going to do a lot of work up close and personal. The other steps now, the approach of the enemy. Shrapnel and Plug, they're just holding it down. They're just chilling. They've crouched up. De jour and company, though. They're chilling as well. They crouch walking. They rolled for stealth, and they're hitting that stealth rolls now. As on the other side of the map, Kiwi and rest of squad. Kiwi extremely low over here. 37 HP. Finds a Flowberry Fizz out there. Go ahead and get those shields back up. Yakin on the outskirts of zone. Getting that reboot off. Pushing in now with the wingsuit. Trying to get back to the safety of the zone, but I don't know how safe the zone is. Shrapnel and Plug, they get taken out to de jour. De jour on 5 kills alone out of the 6 kills for the squad. With that mythic in hand now, that number can easily rack up all the way to double digits. Lucidate and Coley as well on the squad. There's now random stray bullets coming through, forcing them to build up on this bridge as they pop that smoke, and once again providing that cover with that smoke, with that mist, as they go ahead and get that shields back up. Lucidate gonna hold the right side peak here on this wall, but chooses to back up as zone now moves in, and they're not in a good spot over here. There's players everywhere around them, but taking the first shot is gonna prove go ahead and be beneficial as Lucidate gets the first shot and the first kill over on aim button. This is the team that was raised out in zone by Yakin as Rian gets taken down. Yakin pops the wingsuit now. Trying to get to safety, trying to play that placements. Deadeye in the hand of de jour, looking to go ahead and get that, but not going to go ahead and connect with any of those shots. Yakin landed very close, though. Not as far as you wanted to. Pops the jump pad and now just tries to go through. Actually, the wingsuit, I should say. Unreal. Alive somewhere as well on this team. Has the smokes in hand over here. 2 of them actually to go ahead and pop for the cover and for the healing. as the zone moves all the way now to the eastern side of Painted Palms. Flashy gets an elimination in that kill feed, takes us down to 9 teams. For some reason, this is the game where everyone wants to go off and hop on the action, hop on that gunplay, taking us down to 8 teams now. Unreal finally dies off over to Storm over there. 20 players left in this lobby, and it's only Storm number 5? This is something that we don't usually see over on ASL. We're usually used to having 11 teams in that final few zones. But everyone playing for KP here this time around on this Thursday afternoon. As Doorknobbies and company at 10 kills right now. A ton of KP for them. Flashy looking to go ahead and aim up, but gets beamed from the right side. Forced back now to go ahead and pop those minis. Dick now gonna go ahead and pop that wingsuit. She's gonna slow down just a little bit over there, and that's gonna be a low deploy. But still, the knowledge to go ahead and duck and dive and glide gets them to a point where they get onto the ground, but they still get beamed. And Kiwi now as well. Last player left alive. And they're not too good on that KP right now, but they've secured some good placement points. Top 6 over here would be great. Ominous and Ezra, names that we have seen before now, both popping that wingsuit. Looking to get that positioning as the zone now moved all the way to the fields itself. You can see there's a team right there, Suede and company, that have set up in there 1-by-1 already. They're just playing off of this cover. They're playing off of their positioning in the zone. They're looking to have all these teams run at them like it's wave 11 of zombies. And they just gun them all down. But with 40 seconds now, all these teams on the outskirts will have to move. You see a couple knocks on the outskirts as well. Rick's still somehow alive. Hasn't bled out yet. This player lost alive. Wingsuit does get popped. 21 HP. Shields get tagged a little bit. And Suede gonna be the one to get that kill, of course. We talked about this team just mounted up in their 1-by-1s over here. And aiming down at every other team. Fighting amongst each other. All while trying to get into the safety of the zone. As we now find ourselves in the top 5 position. 14 players. Lucid Wraith gonna get tagged and licked a little bit, but still managing to get into that smoke. Gets that shields back up. As the sprays now come from Doorknobbies with that MK7 and the rest of company as well. Ezra and Omnis still alive here as a duo. Very close as the zone shifts one more time. Back south again. Suave all the way down to the right side. Heavy beams, but nothing to write about. As I think that might just be 11 HP left on Suave over there. That team extremely low, but Flashy now getting lit up as well. Forced to just go back and heal a little bit, get a little bit of a reset. Ashpop, Mythic Flash SMG with Tyboss and Nitro as well in the squad. They've gotten a decent amount of kills as well here. Pops open that airdrop, looking to go ahead and get maybe some heals, some ammo as well. Of course, this is where your ammo and your mats come into play. Flashy gets a knockover in the distance. DeJour hit with a couple of 19s over there, but still managing to rotate into the safety of that hillside and the house. That's not where the zone is. That's not where the safety is. And they will have to move very, very soon. Nitro now moving cautiously as well. 120 builds is what you want to have in this final zones, especially when teams are trying to get that height advantage with those cones. You need your materials here. You need ammo as well. Tyboss, 69 bullets left in that Deadeye. Not too nice, but can make something with it in these final moments. As Storm number 7 closing in. Pushes us now to Storm number 8. Now you do not want to get caught out in that storm. Too much damage will be had for you to go ahead and have a reset off of it. Lucid Wraith getting fired from every single angle and gets taken out almost instantly. DeJour now the last alive for the team. 15 HP. Pops those minis. The team knows exactly where they are. And now just has to try to go ahead, box up a little bit and pop the wingsuit. But Flashy cautiously watching that and going back and forth like it's Kovac's aim trainer. Getting 2 with that Deadeye in a matter of 2 seconds. Looking to get some more now. Doorknobbies now moving in. Desktopies as well. Aqua in the little tower over here. Builds up very, very quickly. But still, Flashy finds a way into those builds. Gets the confirm. Gets the resets of mats and ammo as well. And takes us down to our top 4 situation. 9 players left, and the height clearly in the hands of Doorknobbies and company. As they clear out those builds one more time. We've seen them do it earlier this game. Swayed so low. Not only with a shotgun to the face, but in the storm as well. Takes us down to our top 3. 8 players left. Ominous and Ezra, the duo, still somehow alive in this. Secured in that top 3 position. Edits through now. Has to push in. Storm to the southeast of this little lake. Ezra down to 50 HP. Ominous gets knocked over there. Ghostface getting the one to make them scream as Ezra is the last alive for the squad. Managing to get 2 KP and a top 3 here is fantastic on its own, but you don't want to just end, especially when everyone's been going ham on those eliminations. Ezra finally gets caught out over there and takes us down to our top 2. 6 players. 3v3 is where we are. Desktop is in company on the height. Ashpop and company on the low ground. Now it comes down to a battle of wits. A battle of skill. As one does get knocked, that is Nitro. As Doorknobbies now has the advantage for their team. Has to back out though. Flashy's trying to push in. Ashpop getting found out there for a little bit of a lick. Nitro finally gets thirsted. No hope for any res over there. Puts us into this 3v2 situation. Desktop is 36 HP. No shields. Doorknobbies up close and personal with Ashpop, but as Flashy does get knocked. It's now a 2v2. Desktop is going to go ahead and clean it up though for the victory royale, and Doorknobbies with 11 eliminations, a total of 19 for this team in our game number 1 on Thursdays. Absolute insanity and hot action for game number 1. I wasn't lying. Everyone trying to gun through and just fight for KP, and you see that there when a single player has 11 kills on their own, 11 KP for their team, just like that. A total of 19 for Desktopies and company. But that was just game number 1. We still have a second game coming at you live, where we've seen the tides change before on a second game. Will that happen here on ASL Thursdays week number 3? There's only one way to find out. We're going to get that lobby sorted out, as well as the leaderboard for game number 1. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after the short intermission. ASL Week 3, the end of the week. And these guys are giving us the action to end off this week on a high note. We just got done with game number 1 of our ASL Fortnite Thursdays, and we have the leaderboard for you right here, right now. Guys, a 39-point lead is what we're seeing between first and second. Grey College Secondary School in first right now. 19 eliminations pushes them up to 103 points. St. Joseph's Middle College with 64 points and 54 points respectively for second and third. Edgemead finding themselves in fourth place with 52 points. And then in fifth, managing to scrape into the top 5 is ZWK Swartkop with 42 points. For now, Grey College, they have a substantial lead after game number 1. Can they further that lead with game number 2? Because we saw them go absolutely ham and gun down every single person they came across. And it was just guns blazing for the entirety of that game. And we had a good amount of players in there as well, 73 players. And what was nice about it was the action never stopped. This is what we want to see on ASL every single year, because we've been doing this for a good amount of years right now. And the amount of talent that shows up every single year, whether it be recurring names or it be newcomers coming along to showcase their talents, prove that they belong in esports over here, and get these stepping stones to go ahead and become those mega stars in the making. We absolutely love to see it, because it's not just Fortnite here over on ASL. There's many different titles that we do here on ASL. You guys are just witnessing the Fortnite side of things right here. And with this end of the week, we get to see these players showcase their skills in game, all leading up to the next week as well, because what we have been seeing over the couple of weeks has been rivalries. That's been the name of the game for these past couple of weeks. Wednesday afternoon, we get to see rivalries between two schools. Thursdays now, we get to see one team have a rivalry with the entire lobby and gun them all down. So with game number 2 coming along, not only do they have a target on their back, they have opportunity to create a record here on our Thursday afternoon lobbies for 2026, and that is by getting as much kills as they possibly can, pushing that score all the way up, and further creating a substantial lead between themselves and the other teams. But guys, of course, ASL is brought to you by Acer Nitro. They're the ones that make this all possible. Acer Nitro goes through to different schools, and we even get to see little images online from some of the ASL guys of them being at these schools and introducing esports over there. Such a fantastic thing, because we have all of our pros competing, but we always have to keep that grassroots around, because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, this is the future of esports. When those pros, they stop playing, where do we look for the next pros? And that's right here. All of these players, some of these players that have matriculated from last year, they're looking for their ways into organizations for playing professionally, not just locally, but internationally as well. That's what ASL stands for, creating the future of esports, and it's right here in front of your very eyes. Game number 2 will begin very shortly, ladies and gentlemen, as the battle bus now goes ahead and flies over the beautiful Chapter 7 island. A little bit less players in this lobby, 62 players in this one, but once again, the same strategies go forth, and we see that all the time. Height advantage, mobility, and that all-powerful dead-eye assault rifle. But we see in the hands of these players almost as if it's like a laser. It don't move, it just beams, it don't miss. And we'll see how that goes ahead in game number 2. 25 teams this time around, 62 players in this lobby. Let's see what happens as all these players choose their landing destinations. Immediately, Nitro getting that first confirmed elimination. Cookie Monster also going down to Bob in that kill feed. And that's not what you want to see. You do not want to go down this early, especially when we've seen time and time again how important those placement points are. We've seen teams end up with the most amount of kills in the lobby, but because they finished third in that game, they get pushed all the way down to 5th place on the leaderboard. We've seen it time and time again. You do not want to go out that early. Flashy in that kill feed. This is the team that we're going to be keeping our eyes on right now. Immediately off drop, getting an elimination over there. And we're down to 58 players, I should say. Just like that. A good split of players. Again, a couple of teams in the middle of the zone. Battle Boulevard always going to have some teams over there, especially for how big the POI actually is. So much materials you can get from there. So much rock or brick you can get from there. So much metal you can get from there as well. Going to always be a place where we see at least 2 or 3 teams landing there. Bob right now just walking out in the open. Not sure if there was a lag or a bit of connection issue for Bob over there, but does get absolutely beamed, and that is the catalyst for this team to go ahead. Prime, we've seen Prime in the past now. Go ahead and find that opening, getting 2 eliminations over there for the team, and Log now the only one left. Looking to go ahead and now find that reboot, get those cards back with using that gold, and get the team back into fray. And now Rigor Mortis getting beamed at from the height of Tip Top Terrace. Forced to go ahead under this little ridge line and build up. Sprays through the builds with that SMG, but it's not going to do much. 2 players pushing into that box to get the elimination. And so far, again, a bit of a bloodbath here in the early game. Players wanting to go ahead and secure that KP. So we'll see exactly how this goes along towards the end of the game. Like I said, we're used to seeing 12 teams towards that end game, towards that final few zones. But this time around, we're getting to see 5 teams lost out for the last 4 or 5 zones, as Kiwi confirms the elimination over there for their team, putting them on that KP board, and that is Prime that is going down as well. In's building up that ramp and now using that wingsuit to go ahead and get out of dodge. 44 shield, 60 HP, manages to go ahead behind this hill and get a nice little reset off of that. And will escape with their life, not having to waste any more resources, not having to waste any more ammunition either. And now just back into the fray off of that reset. Pavan over here holding this wall. Up close and personal, though. The jump shot comes through Pavan. Unfortunately, a solo in this endeavor will get taken out quite easily. And something else that we keep on talking about here on ASL is the numbers advantage. The numbers game is so important. You need to have at least your 2 players to go ahead and take on those Chels. But it doesn't always go that way, as yesterday is the confirmation of that, is the facts and evidence that even a solo can go ahead and win against full trio lobbies, as Desktop is going ahead and starting that kills again alongside Flashy. Takes down Lloyd. And takes us down to 48 players as well, but still somehow 21 teams left alive. Humble gonna pop that invisibility now, just to go ahead and become that incognito being in the boulevard itself. Ty getting taken out on the zip rails. And there, of course, that rolling, that Fortnite added in Chapter 7, having momentum and ragdoll physics when you are knocked. To try to go ahead and get out of dodge, to try to go ahead and get away, create that distance that we've seen happen before in our past couple of weeks. We now tune in with Xantic and rest of squad as they seem to be chasing down this player on the hill. Lapton is the one on this hill. Xantic is going to build for height over here. Clippy Snacks gets found out, but Xantic doesn't see where Lapton is. And that's going to result in the knock over there. Lapton looking to go ahead and push up, but pushes up straight into the bullets, or into the bullets, I should say, of Cycler. The Mortal are the last alive, and this is actually 2 different teams over here. One of them being that solo. Mortal trying to go ahead and get the revives. It has to go ahead and back out. Ruben getting thirsted. Mortal finally getting that one res off on Xantic. And now this team in a dire situation. They don't want to go 2 games in a row with that poor placement points, as Xantic choosing to just go down this hill, but in the open. Now knocked, thanks to Suave. Immortal, taking down Suede, I should say. Suede getting thirsted over there. Cycler, Immortal, looking to be able to go ahead and make a play or two off of this. Aqua and squad taking their time in this fight as well. Taking all the time they need to heal up, to get those shields back up to 50. In fact, get that shields back up to 100 with that Flowberry Fizz. As Immortal plays that low ground, trying to roll a nat 20 on that stealth as we've seen time and time again. But Suave says, no, forget about that. Let's go use this reboot van. Let's get our teammate back into the fray. Let's have an even bigger numbers advantage in this game. As we move over to Flex now. Deadeye assault rifle in hand. Looking to go ahead and beam phase out of that sky, but cannot do so. Now has to move through a zone as the storm starts pushing them in. And the smoke getting popped for that low gravity effect now. Just a little bit more mobility for this team. As it Flix is the only one with that wingsuit over there. And do not want to split up. Do not want to disconnect from your duo. As Cracked gets absolutely cracked over there. And in fact, downed. FaZe Atsi, the last alive now. And an interesting loadout as well. Has the wingsuit for rotation. But this is one of the first few times that we're seeing someone use that tactical pistol in their inventory. And the only time we've seen this has been in the heist season, when there was that mythic pistols that dealt so much damage so quickly. Boy now on the flank with Lucid and DeJour. They're now in that same position where Flix was, and they get themselves a knock as Flix wingsuit gets popped. Bobbing, weaving, battle rolling in the sky. Trying to get to safety. Lucid Raid on the height. Going to throw down that shield for DeJour. And Koi going to go ahead and get the confirm on Ziot. And Lucid going to meet up back with the team. As all of these teams. Look how many teams outside of zone right now. 18 teams left alive in this. 44 players. And while that number is still so high for our teams, it seems like we've seen even more battles than we usually see so far. But the numbers dwindling so slowly. Sunny Bear on height over here. The Skins, Cookie Monster, and Prime now push up. This is Prime positioning. Not only do you have the Storm doing work for you on that HP, you had the advantage of pushing, but Skins gets knocked over there. And that's going to be a reset for Sunny Bee off of that confirmed too. But Sunny Bee does get taken down in the end by who? Prime popping that invisibility. Moving towards zone now. Trying to play for placement. Trying to play for positioning. Cookie Monster. Still alive. Prime pops out of that invisibility. Deadeye assault rifle takes the spray. Doesn't hit any of it. Takes high ground immediately though. Sovereign shotgun in hand. Drops down and has to break this floor. Shot's not connecting. 89 on the shot. Does take down Pod. Barely though, when the thirst is going to go ahead. And of course, have that leeching of health. Get back up to tip-top shape in that zone. Survive just a little bit longer. A couple of teams in the safety of that zone currently. Everyone else battling it out on the outskirts. Flashy building up, avoiding a few shots from Lucid. Lucid now getting shot from the right side. Has to now edit down. A little bit of a kerfuffle with that edits, but manages to get out nonetheless. Now getting shot in the back. DeJour on the height. Cookie Monster going down to Koi. We're going to secure a second elimination over there on Cookie Monster. Lucid, 13 HP now. Having to go ahead and move down the hill. Popping that Flowberry Fizz and that mist as well. But still remaining at that 13 HP. Healthy on shields though. Needs to find a medkit fairly soon. DeJour on the height. Getting pushed by doorknobbies. Lucid looking for any angle to find him. Not to find any angle. Doorknobby is taking the first few shots. Hits Lucid. Lucid not able to do that. And I think there is some sort of connection issue for Lucid over here. You can see a bit of lag on his side, and that's going to prove to be a detriment for this team. As Koi now holding the wall, 38 from that shotgun shot. Lucid still alive somehow. DeJour hit heavily over there, down to a sliver of HP as Lucid finds a medkit and starts to pop it. Koi getting touched by the zone now too, and not clearing that corner is going to result in DeJour getting knocked. Koi though, wingsuit active, trying to rotate and be that saving grace as Lucid goes down. And Koi, the last one alive for their team. Desktopies, the rest of the squad, doing so well on their fights now. Grey College looking to further that lead in game number 2, as they've been going non-stop in this game number 2. And looks like they can go even further right now, as Flashy from the storm firing upon Kiwi. None of those shots actually hitting, but making the presence away. As wingsuits getting popped. Desktopies taking down a Rick that was popping that wingsuit. Kiwi now getting hit as well as they land from that wingsuit activation. Circle now surrounding Sus Studios. And this is where we're going to see that mad dash come through. Minecraft, though, in the bush with GG Din find themselves off of that little lurking kill over there. And Minecraft popping that invis as well to go ahead and loot up. Meanwhile, look how many players on this side of the zone. Aqua, golden shotgun in hand with that blue MK7. Yet still no eliminations. The team, though, Suede and Suave carrying with 7 total on their side. As Minecraft gets taken down by Kiwi. Kiwi gets spotted out by Aqua over there, and the spray comes through with the MK7. Suede pushing in. Big shotgun shot in the Deadeye as well to go ahead and take out Kiwi on that wingsuit. Takes us down to 13. Suave now firing upon Flashy. Gets cracked over there, has to back up now. Forced back to all of these builds. Xantic found behind the rock, and an even Steven trade over there. Both players now left with a sliver of health. Aqua has invisibility as well in the inventory. Needs to pop this medkit and pop that mist as well, but gets caught out from the other side off of an angle from Desktopies. Grey College looking to further that lead even more. Boy, also getting an elimination in that kill feed. Takes us down to 13. 25 players left alive at the end of Storm number 5. It's Matchmellow, Solo Play, and Chris. They're just chilling. They're playing off of that placement. Playing in the vents, much like that Huggy Wuggy skin does in Poppy Playtime. As we move over to Washed, King Cap, and Mr. Unknown. In the previous game, taken out very early, but now managing to get themselves at least this top 11 situation. Getting beamed, though, is Washed, forced to build up, forced to back up to the team, and it's none other than Desktopies, Flashy, and Doorknobbies. Grey College. More eliminations on the board now, as they take these shots over on King Cap, pop the mist now. And they break these builds. They take the existing builds now as well. 13 eliminations so far already. Remember, they had 19 at the end of game number 1. And they're 13 right now. Gives them a tremendous lead on the entire lobby. Ty found off of that head glitch. Teamed with that Deadeye assault rifle. Flashy, no shields, but that does not stop Flashy's Doorknobbies. Goes down, though. Fadeaway shotgun shot does not connect. Doorknobbies dropping to the low ground. Desktop is moving up. These two are doing so well on their own as well. As Mr. Unknown gets found out. Fadeaway shotgun shot from Flashy over there. And then the thirst to go ahead and get that lifesteal. Desktop is clears one out as well. 15 eliminations is where this team sits as we're down to our top 10 situation. 21 players. And still in the vents is Matchmellow and squad. They're playing heavily off of this placement as we had reached the end of zone number 6. Oh, and zone number 7. So cruel. Moving south of every single team. And I believe there's just one team on the edge right now, close to that zone. And I think it may just be Grey College, if I'm not mistaken. As Humble, Rip, and Ty, they move up. Suave gets taken out using that wingsuit. And they're just crouch walking in right now. We are going to see one knock go through. As Rip Lloyd, we are going to say Rip to Rip Lloyd over here. The double raise will come through, though the storm coming in means that it's going to be hitting for that 5 tick now. You can see the wingsuit gets popped off of Ty EXE. And looking to reposition, but look how many players are here. There's no repositioning when there's that many players, and you come crashing down to the earth in front of Xantic, giving them every bit of ammunition, every bit of material that they desperately needed as the remaining duo in this game. Down to our top 8 situation as Chris gets taken out by Flicks. Wash takes down Chris, though, however, in a bit of a trade. 17 eliminations for Grey College right now, as they look to get even more. Flicks takes down Ash Pops in that kill feed. Desktopies and Flashy just moving in. Flashy found out and insta-beamed, but gracefully falling next to their teammate for the res. As the zone once again, Cruel, moving all the way west now. Washed 5 HP and a dream. And the biggest enemy for Washed right now is not any of these players. It's that storm. That storm that's currently moving in. That storm that does 8 DPS, 8 damage per second. And the wingsuit now popped. And this is a risky endeavor as you see Washed floating out into that zone on their wingsuit. Not knowing how to control it effectively. And gets taken out by that storm damage. That 8 damage a second takes us down to our 6 teams. 9 players left. As Flashy and the rest of company up above, praying down on Xantic and company. As they build up further to their height now. And look at the prime position that Flashy and them are. There's only one team above them, and it's Flicks and company. Desktop is now using that wingsuit. Manages to land and pull that one by one ever so quickly to protect themselves. Light and Flicks, a duo on height. Humble, a solo on the low ground with 18 HP, and the storm pushing him into desperate times and desperate measures. The wingsuit, and we've seen how that hasn't helped out with low HP before. Humble risking it all. And unfortunately, with high risk comes the storm of 8 damage a second, taking us down to our top 3. In which we have Grey College as they take down a solo, pushing us to our top 2. 19 elims already on Grey College. As Flashy just trying to play a zone right now. Flicks and Zayat, they have the Cohen placements down to a T as Desktopies gets taken down by Flicks. And right now it's looking all Flicks and Zayat as they push down, looking for Flashy, the last player left alive. Flashy doing everything that they can to go ahead and make any sort of play. Fadeaway shotgun shots. On top of that, Desktopy finally bleeds out over there. It's a 2v1 situation for our final battle. Flashy, 22 shield, 44 HP, 111 with a shotgun, but it's not enough. 19 eliminations secures a 2nd place, but the victory goes to a 7 kill. Zayat and Flicks as the duo take game number 2. Insanity here on our Thursday afternoon, and we're gonna get that leaderboard set up for you real quick over here. But what a day for Fortnite. And I know Alt is somewhere shaking his fist because he was hoping for this sort of action, this sort of gunfire, and this sort of bloodbath on Wednesday afternoons. But alas, it's Thursday where the bullets are flying here on ASL, and week number 3 comes to an end with those bloodbaths. Of course, powered by Ace and Nitro, making this all possible. We're just waiting on the leaderboards now, ladies and gentlemen. But with the lead that we saw at the end of game number 1, I think it's pretty certain as to who's in the top of that leaderboard, who's at that first position. That would be Grey College, but time will tell, because we know how numbers add up, and I may not be good at math, but things change consistently when it comes to those points on the leaderboard. But if this is your first time seeing ASL, then this is what you've been missing out on. Hit that follow button, hit that notification bell, because this is where the mega stars in the making get shown off to the world. This is where all of these students, all of these school kids and college kids, their talents get exposed to the world. And for many of them, many of these players, as young down to primary school levels, this is their stepping stone into esports, to become those mega stars in the making. And in this final few moments on our Thursday afternoon, I want to thank all of you for being out here, for spending your Thursdays, whether it be for supporting your friends, your schools, or just stumbling across ASL in general on Fortnite over here. We want to thank you for being a part of all of this, because this exposure puts these students, puts all of these kids out there to go ahead and become the next esports pros for their respective games. Because ASL is not just Fortnite. There's many titles that you can go ahead and check out on schools.acgl.gg. But we have our leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen, and no doubt it is going to be Grey College. 195 points and a record setting for week number 3 Thursday of 38 eliminations. That is insane. To get almost 40 kills in the span of 2 games over here. Hillcrest High School in second with 25 eliminations and 140 points. And St. Joseph's Marist College in third, 109 points with 19 kills. And I mean, what a leaderboard to go out on and end off this week. What games to go ahead and end off this week of ASL week number 3. But there's still so many more weeks to come, because we have these lobbies 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, with it being broadcasted on Wednesdays and Thursdays, live here at 4 p.m. But guys, that is all she wrote for Thursdays here on ASL. Once again, thank you to all of you for being a part of this, whether it was cheering on your friends playing, stumbling across it, or just curious as to what ASL has to offer. We thank you. And of course, massive shout out to broadcast Reggie in the background, making sure all those camera angles were the most pristine for all of you guys and all of your watching needs. But for now, it's been AR on the mic. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you again next Wednesday at 4 p.m. for more ASL Fortnite.